Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube. Welcome to Jibber Jabber. I am your host, Skajarmas, otherwise known as Tone Shift, as always. Sorry about that. My brain farted a little bit. I'm still recovering from the meme war we were all just subjected to. So, with me today, we have, let's see here, let me see if I can find him in the list of people. Blank Page, the author of Human Nature, Their Very Own Sons, and kind of a friend. Kinda.
Hey,
yep.
Kind of a.
Kind of a. Sorry. I'm still recovering. Okay. Shut up.
That's fine. No, I see how you
Okay.
feel.
We just had a horrible experience, ladies and gentlemen. We'll explain it in a minute. We have the Circle of the Brits that was going to contain all Darkness, Lightning, and Tom, but because Lightning had to go, it's just Darkness and Tom.
I got promoted. I did it, Mom.
Yes, Tom is now. Yes, Tom is now a moderator on the server. So, clap for him, damn it!
I clap for myself. I don't need your pity clap.
Pity.
Well done.
Okay.
Pity for all the shit I have to deal with as a moderator.
Well, things are pretty tame most of the time. I've been the only admin moderator guy for a while, and I've only had to make a few bans. We've been fine.
Yeah, anyway. Watching now that I'm here, everyone's going to be like, let's go hound him.
Anyway, next up, we have a certain Starfish, Patrick, sorry, Soviet, excuse me.
All right. You know what? It was funny the first time, but now you're within crusading distance.
No, I'm not.
I mean,
yes,
you look like
are.
Patrick when you fell off that bridge and just went splat.
Listen here, you little shit.
On the receiving end of Patrick's hateful gaze is Paladin staring into your soul.
Hello.
Am I missing anyone? No, that looks like that is it.
Legit.
Yep, that looks like that's everyone. So, unless, of course, Hades suddenly decides to join. Looks like they're talking about that in text chat. But anyway, how's everyone's week been?
It's been alright.
Fantastic.
It hasn't gone too bad so far.
Man, it got cold.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did.
Fallout 76 beta ended, Soviet only very slightly got angry at the crafting system.
It wouldn't tell me what the stairs were.
I told you to remove the wall, and guess what it was? You removed the wall, and it worked.
I couldn't remove the wall at first. The wall was stuck. Everything was stuck together. It's like the house was built out of toothpicks and super glue.
This is my life.
Thank you, Bethesda Game Studios. You people make memories. Now then. So, as many of you noticed, by the time this video goes up, it'll have been about an hour and a half, but for me, it was like less than half an hour ago. I put up a video entitled Memes and Shitposting because we had a meme war in the server.
I just watched Doctor Who and let him get on with it.
Yeah, So just for context, as some of you may or may not know, we have a local meme lord named Tux, or Cool Tuxedo as his full username here on this server.
Or that guy that's on my head.
Or you can know him as Little Tux, or Tiny Tux.
Small Tux.
It's Small Tux.
Very well.
Ken Pet? Yes. So, now, Small Tux has been our local meme lord for a while, and he posts gratuitous amounts of memes, and he makes his own gratuitous amounts of memes, to the point that I have silenced myself to hearing the what memes and shit posting subthread here in the Discord server that we use. So, yes, there is that. I had to silence myself to his bullshit. He's a good guy, though. He just loves his memes. Now!
I love my puns.
No. No, I don't.
Puns are terrible.
I only tolerate them because they're not against the rules, and it would be unfair to make them against the rules. Because I
said I love puns. I didn't say you did.
Heresy. Anyways. So.
Anything that
this server tonally shifts a lot.
You shut the fuck up right now. I will
Watch your
take
tone.
Oh God! Don't bully him.
Excuse me.
As your moderator, I'm allowed to do this now.
No, you're not. Now, excuse me for a moment. Excuse me for just a second.
Well, All right, maybe not as
We
your
can
moderator, but certainly
We
as
run now.
second of the two utter bastards.
Okay, I'm back. So,
You good?
yes, I just had to go scream like a moose for a second. Anyway, so as I was saying before you all started punning me to death,
I said nothing.
silence. Silence. So, as I was saying, Tux has been our local meme lord for a while now. All of a sudden, an appropriately named new person joins, now known as the Challenger YT. The Challenger. They show up. Next thing any of us know, I didn't know this at first because I'm muted to what memes and shit posting, but everyone else suddenly realized those two are having a fucking meme war in the what memes and shit posting section. Just picture upon picture upon picture upon picture upon picture in bulk en masse non-stop. 30 minutes.
And the
I
amazing
feel a little
thing
guilty
is
'cause
not
I
a single
kinda
notification
started
came
it.
through for me. I had to click it to notice.
Blank, you're fired. Anyway. So, yes, that is.
Oh, let's say doesn't he pay you, but then I realize he's one of your honorary.
Yeah, he doesn't pay me anything. So, but yes, so this war just waged for 30 minutes. The shit we saw, that didn't make it into the video because I started making that video about 5 minutes in, and I stopped after 13 minutes because there was only so much my brain could take. But they kept going for a good 10 more minutes after that. It was 30 minutes of just non-stop shit. Who is that? Who?
Hello?
Oh no! A surprise
Oh,
challenger!
Oh no!
Speak of
Oh,
the
no.
devil, and so he'll appear.
No!
Perfectly timed. No.
Okay.
He's on my head again. Get it off.
Okay.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but we got a surprise guest, Tux.
Yep. One of the two local meme lords himself has just made his appearance.
Wait. Wait, Jibber Jabber didn't already end?
No, we
Yeah.
just
No, we just started.
7 minutes ago.
My bad.
Did you forget? Okay, and he's gone.
Now he's gone.
Gone, boys.
I'll tell him he can stay.
Gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Like now, I'm just imagining that the little tiny Tux constantly jumping on and off my head. God damn it.
I mean, if it were
Oh, man,
easier to,
you know
I
that's
mean, if it was easier to animate live, that's totally how I'd be doing this. But it's a lot harder to
back,
animate.
foolish mortals. Bow to my memes. Ah.
Get back here, Tux.
We need a seventh guy, and
We
we
still have post meme jitters here, in case you couldn't tell. So
I was expecting Hades.
God.
Oh well.
Come on, Tux.
Rolling.
Tux, return. Tom's head needs you.
It feels so cold without you.
You keep his head warm throughout winter months.
He said no, so.
Oh, that's
Okay, well, he said no, so nothing we can do about that.
Alright.
Anyways, but yeah, so this meme war, it. I can't really describe it properly in words because my brain is still trying to comprehend the fact that this was real life.
Is this real life?
No,
Not
the song, not the song.
Around me
Shut-
are familiar face.
Would you
Oh,
please shut up? That's not what I was referencing. I was referencing the high kid who just had his teeth removed. David after Dennis, that kid. I was referencing that. Is this real life? That kid. So. Okay. All right. Fucking. But yes, I had a very hard time wrapping my head around it. It was. It hurt. It hurt on so many levels, and I can't take this topic any further because I don't know what to say.
I
it
mean,
was
The
beautiful.
only thing I could say, what's going through my mind at the moment, I need an adult.
Yes, I think.
I'm an adult.
this is a pretty chaotic topic so far of like Tux jumping in and out. So I think Tux is in actuality just Discord incarnate, just messing with us with a fake account and voice.
I don't know about that, but anyways.
No, we don't need a god of chaos here right now.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess I should go somewhere else then.
Don't bother yourself.
I mean, we need you to record, so you must stay.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. All right, so let's go.
So what we were doing again?
Let's go away from the memes for a little while because. Ugh. No.
My
Shadows.
brain is still recovering.
Yes.
How are you today?
Well, we have a story from Blank. Gather round, kiddies. Uncle Blank's got a story
Oh
for you.
boy! Oh
Yeah,
shoot!
yeah.
You stole it from me. This is the thing I live for.
Gather round, kiddies.
Story?
So,
Gather around, kiddies. Uncle Blank's got a story to tell you.
yeah.
So-
Apparently, Blank did a LARP. So, regale us.
Welcome to the Larp, Blank.
Feel free to
Yeah, I
go.
wasn't-
Feel free to
it
go
was
into.
strange.
Feel free to give excruciating amounts of detail and comedic tangents.
Okay. Geez.
All right,
what
what's
should
it,
I-
Blaze?
So I actually joined the little LARPing group about like 2 months ago for a story that's all on its own that I won't get to.
Before you start, question: what kind of weapons do you use in your American Larp?
Like what do you mean?
Like, what are they made of? How safe are you? Are you just gonna do what Russians do and literally throw bricks at people?
Ah,
Oh no,
shit!
we don't go that far.
Oh, shit.
We
Bricks fired! Bricks fired!
I think it's like PVC pipes covered in like I don't know what I never got to make it to
Like a
actual
like a
weapon
foamy
making
thing.
part.
Okay, I guess
Yeah,
it's
kinda like a
I guess it's a
thing.
good thing we're recording to the desktop because we just had a technical difficulty.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, my hard drive just crapped out again. Give me a second. We're recording to the desktop, so we shouldn't have a problem this time as opposed to last time. I hope.
Phew.
We will see.
Just in
Cross
case,
the wood.
maybe you might want to quickly stop the recording and start again and splice them together, maybe?
No.
Yeah.
By the way, how's your repairs?
Alright, sorry about that. We got that resolved. Hopefully, this shit still works. That actually means now that when I earlier said hour and a half, I was wrong. Probably closer to 2 or 3 hours because my graphics card is dead, so rendering these two parts of the video together into one video is now gonna be dicks.
Yes.
Okay. So,
What were we
And
talking
Spike-
about?
we were talking about your LARP and the weapons you use.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like PVC pipes and I guess like styrofoam around that and then
We do something similar, though. I don't think it was PVC. I think there's another like metal in there.
I don't think we use metal. Maybe
we
not,
use
I don't know.
metal in this core because apparently PVC like breaks a lot easier. But
It does. It
Yeah.
does break pretty easy. I can vouch for that.
But it is cheap. And that's what's important.
It is
Well,
that.
no, safety's important. That's why we go with the expensive stuff. That's why we meant to, because no system in pretty much PVC here. Not many systems will actually take those weapons here. You'd be told to fuck off and go home.
Oh, okay. Well, I also don't know, like I said before, I never made it to the weapon making system for part of the group because I've always had prior things I had to do.
I'm just wondering because I've literally seen people like in Russia in their LARP. They just use whatever weapons they happen to have, so long as it's not sharp metal. If it's blunt, go ahead. And I've seen people of them in a makeshift fort, people storming it and then trying to stop the attackers with bricks, full-on bricks, just chucking them down.
I mean, Russia
Right.
is the next evolutionary step of people, so.
Russia, dude. You just see like a crowd of ambulances already there on site, ready to receive the casualties.
Casualties from role playing. Don't feed
Sometimes.
the fire.
Yeah.
Russians
Please
don't
do.
roleplay it, they do it for real. Like they want to do a Warhammer 40,000 Elfish fucking go all the heresy, you know?
Okay.
They'll
For them, it's not
burn
live action roleplay, it's just live action play.
Realism.
Okay. Blank.
God.
Go on. Tell your story.
Right. Well, after I finally figured out what I was doing, my character is actually some weird mage, but I got a little spellcasting utensil built into my staff. So that came like tremendously in handy because I'm a glass cannon, apparently. But yeah, when I started finding out what we were doing, we were going down a trail, and me and my party of one paladin and like 2 warriors ran into a hut in the middle of nowhere, and there was like this really rancid smell in the air. So we go to find out like what's going on. Well, actually, one of our warriors had just bounced. I guess in game he just kind of teleported into the middle of nowhere because the player himself had to leave or something. But yeah, so the warrior goes in first. I'm kind of just chilling at the door, and the paladin like kind of just to see what's going on. And next thing I know, there's like a lot of screaming going on inside. So the warrior's being chased by the paladin. He's just in a bloody rage. And I'm freaking out, finding what the hell is going on here.
Hello.
Yeah, I forgot your name. That's convenient. The warrior told me to try to find some way to like tie the paladin down. That's gonna mess me up now with your name. And I had this spell that would let me just tie people down with like chains of smoke or something. I had to use 2 to get the paladin put in place, and the next thing I know, the warrior's lunged at me. So I used another spell to get him in place, and at this point, I got like 2 mana left, and they're both screaming maniacally. It will help us all. And I don't know, since I knew like what's the guy's name? The game master like had given me a nudge, like say, well, hey, this is what you can do. So I tried to talk with the spirit, say, hey, what's going on? Like, why are you doing this? And apparently it's like some spirit of an evil kid who like father bashed his head in against the wall and is like, oh, well, what do you want me to do? And he just screamed obscenities. So I decided to go inside the house myself, and it's an absolute bloodbath. There's like a kid with his brain splattered against the wall, and there's a guy with a hammer stuck in his head, and the wife's all butchered up, and like, wow, what the fuck? And all the heads were chopped off, which apparently the warrior did, and I don't understand what the whole thing of decapitating the dead means in Larp yet. Maybe that's a mechanic, but
Demonetized.
I'm like, yeah. Oh, my bad. You can play that out if you want.
No, it's fine. I don't actually monetize my shit. I was just making a joke. Go on.
Oh, fair enough. So I'm just kind of looking at the little kid who apparently was the demon or whatever. I look out, and they're all just still like screaming like lunatics. I got like, well, no, I don't have any mana left, but I do still have 2 flame strikes left on my staff. So I just kind of whack him with some fire, and I hear some like screaming in pain. I go out, and apparently they're good, but they're still like trapped for another 5 minutes. Trying to say like, oh, what's happened and all that shit. And man, that was a fucking experience, let me tell you. On the way back, we got attacked by 6-foot-long centipede. And
And how was that represented?
Well, it wasn't represented very well. We just had like another player like just got his stick and started attacking us. But with the imagination, I like to think we were doing a little bit more cool stuff. I tried to argue with the game master to say, hey, can I take this 6-foot-long centipede and turn it into a fucking whip? Because could you imagine some guy charging at you with a fucking centipede? But yeah, I lost that argument, and anywho, that was my first. Oh yeah, it was also like 20 degrees outside, so I was shivering like the little bitch I was.
First time I did LARP, it was just thunderstorms all the way through and pissing it down, raining, and I was freezing my ass off. It was bad.
I have never learned.
I like our system anyway. Oh, I got a fun little LARP thing as well. A friend of mine in LARP, who in the system we go to, which is called HMS or CX and Sorcery, alternatively. My character is currently part of the Order of the Templars. Like, not as a Templar myself, but I'm a guard for the church. And our boss, the head Templar, his name is Dio, who has brothers called Vio and Leo.
Oh boy.
Father of Neo. Father is Neo, then mother is Cleo. Like that kind of.
Is JoJo anywhere in the mix?
Obnoxious. No.
Okay.
They just have a very obnoxious, naming scheme for their characters. But the funny thing is, my two friends who play the Leo and Vio weren't here for the last event of 2018. Like, it's done for the year. And doing this, our head Templar decided to start delving into heresy. Like, heavy heresy. like in system for the church, which is somewhat ironic because Leo's in character explanation for why he wasn't there was because he was hunting heresy. But basically, one, he wants to do away with his weak flesh and become a skeleton monster, which is like high in the land of Helmsford, which is where it takes place in Albion. It's highly illegal, heretical, and repulsive because necromancy. The way he expects to get away with this is that he wants to just wear full armor, even as if that would actually stop anyone from just finding out that he's a skeleton and undead. 2, he wants to start taking the souls of criminals and sticking it in like golem kind of things and sending them to battle for us, even though once again that's necromancy. Yes, it isn't necromancy, it's robotics, and yet he's using the souls of the dead to power them, so that's still necromancy.
Jesus, okay.
So he keeps insisting it's not, but all of us are like, yeah, next event you try that, we're all gonna conduct a coup and fuck you up. I'm a new head of the Templars.
Next time you try that, we're just gonna throw a coup and kick your sorry ass out.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to throw him in jail, probably kill his character if he tries it.
And that's how you get sent to the beach to fight mimics by your boss.
Yeah, now in our group on Facebook for Laser, which is our university's Larp society, he's just his nickname's been changed to Heretic, and whenever we greet him, we just jokingly say, "Oh, it's the Heretic." Hasn't stopped him though. He's still going to try it.
Come on, baby, give me some heresy.
Oh, God, so much heresy.
Heresy!
Doesn't help him that last event he ordered me, since I was the new church guard, since I joined in system in the last event of the year, from being a mercenary to joining the church. It was like character progression. To prove myself, quote unquote, he ordered me to steal another Templar's sword, which is in itself heresy. To steal a Templar's sword. Like, I told the head of the church, who's like the one higher than him, about what he ordered me to do, and he told him off, and then he got really sulky about it.
Oh,
He went,
but he wouldn't
he's got
steal a
really
sword.
annoyed.
God damn it, Jed.
That's fun.
I don't know if we have any local LARP things around my place, so probably won't be able to do anything with that anytime in the foreseeable future. That's
Well,
okay. I don't really like physical activity all that much, so I'll just stick with regular tabletop RPGs.
Honestly, LARP's a good workout, and it's certainly cheaper than attending the gym at this university, which costs like 400 quid for a membership. So, go to hell.
Anyway. So, that would is there anything else you wish to talk about relating to LARP there, Blank? Or have you told your story?
That's about the gist of it, other than like the feast we had, which was it was actual food, so that was nice. I didn't have to imagine that.
Nice. Nice. Well then.
Well, by the time of March, I'll be able to tell you whether we've murdered the heretic or not.
Darkness, your turn. You apparently had an experience in Dead by Daylight recently. So...
Oh boy, I have.
Explain.
Thank you.
Explain.
Oh God, get out of here, Dalek. It's too soon.
Explain! Explain! Explain!
Okay, I will. As long as you don't exterminate me.
Affirmative!
Good.
Extermination on hold until you stop talking. Start talking!
I'm gonna get you one day, you little trash pots. Anyway.
Bugger!
Right. Yes, I was just waiting patiently because, yes, I like playing the killer. I'm getting the real hang of it. But I feel I should play more the survivor and practice my skills. And plus, I like to play Bill. So,
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Sorry.
That's all right.
Poor Bill.
I get it.
Wrong Bill, but
So, yeah, I know he's a hard difficulty, but I don't think he's that hard to run. So I say, fuck it. I don't care if he's extremely, insanely hard. I'm playing bloody Bill whether you like it or not game. And then the killer finally showed up, and I was like, oh, fuck, please, no, don't be. Not the creepy fucking spirit bitch. God damn it, it is. I mean, I thought, okay, let's keep an eye out for freaking. Oh, heck, never mind. He's going after that player. This gives me time to build a freaking. We build one of the generators, and then someone else decided to help me out. I thought, okay, that's nice.
Did they blow it up?
Yep, literally in the next few seconds. Because I thought to myself, we get this done in no time. I mean, I'm nearly about done, and bang. Oh, fuck. You twat. What have you done? But luckily, he's still busy over there, so I tried to carry on, and then bang, bang, repeatedly. And I thought, well, fuck this, I'm out. She's still carrying on.
Reminds me of when we played, just constant me working on the generator, someone coming along and not being able to catch those quick time events blank.
Yes, but there's one massive problem, which I just found out. There is no form of chat in the game. So, yeah. The only thing I do is give off hand signals. I was giving the hand signal, get the fuck out of there. She still carried on, and then the spirit got her. But the good news is the person on the hook got unhooked, and then another person got hooked. And I was going to save her, and then the next thing you know, it didn't go well. I was going to rescue, but then I didn't realize there was already someone else rescuing them. So I thought, okay, I guess I'm not needed. And then when I turned round, I saw the freaking spirit coming towards me. I did a fucking runner. And so did everyone else. We were just going in random directions, hoping that bitch doesn't get me. Or any of us. And next thing you know, she somehow was right in front of me and she got me. Either he found a way to just get around me without me knowing, or that bitch can teleport too. I'm still new to the spirit because I haven't got the DLC yet. But good for those who have. And then I thought to be buggered because I was bleeding out until, well, another survivor got hit instead and put on the hook. All I had to do was wait and he's dead. Well, shit. So then I thought, okay, never mind. I won't be saving him anytime soon. Trying to fix up these generators, and then the next thing you know, it went ballistic. Another person went in the next few seconds. Wait, what? Was he right fucking next to the spirit? What happened? So there were only two of us. And then there was one. It seems he had a disconnection problem like I had. And I was alone with a killer and 3 fucking generators left.
Did you find the trap door?
Well, that's what two thoughts come into mind. Fix the generator or find the trap door. And sadly, there was no option for a trap door yet, so I guess I have to get fixing. Shit. But luckily at this time when that guy was being disconnected, I was halfway through a generator. I quickly managed to fix that up. And of course I had a freaking little medic box from the Halloween special, which basically keeps me alive. Just about. But now I had 2 generators to go, and that bitch was hunting me. So I had to play it safe. I was hiding, I was moving, I was keeping out of sight. She also kept going on the frickin' high ground. This was a proper pro. He was not messing about. I mean, he just dispatched my team in barely a few frickin' minutes. So, yeah. But luckily, he could not find me. And it's been about half an hour, and he still could not find me. But I thought to myself, I have to do something, because it only takes one move, and she will find me, and I am fucked. And I thought, this is it. And please don't turn around. Please don't turn around. Yes, she carried on. And the moment I just saw her vanish in the distance, I just won for it. And then I saw her getting on top of the building and thought, I see you, you bitch. So I hid and wait till she leaves. He stood there for like 10 minutes looking around. And I was just like, has he spotted me yet? No. Phew.
It's sounding like one hell of an epic game of hide and seek.
Yep. And after 45 minutes of hide and seek, I decided to pick a generator. Even I'm taking a bit of a risk, I chose the one in the fucking old broken down house where there's only one exit. But I saw him looking around far away in the distance. This could be my chance. I get fixed and then I heard a heartbeat and I thought, fuck. I hid, but then it just vanished. I guess he just went past the house. Jesus. So I carried on fixing as fast as I can and making sure I hit every fucking fast event. And luckily I haven't missed a single one. I've just trained my fast reflexes to hit the button at the right time. And then as soon as that generator was fixed, I knew I had to get the fuck out of there. And then my second hope arrived. It offered me the vault to get the fuck out of there. But as soon as I was going to the stairs, I hear the heartbeat and the tense music, and I hid in the locker right next to the stairs, which is a risky, foolish move, but that bitch was hot on my tail. And I saw her coming towards me. I thought I was fucked. But instead, he went for the other locker further away, just by the other doorway. So when he was looking in that, I quickly burst out, ran down the stairs, jumped off the fucking rails, and then tried to hit away. And I thought, did I lose her? And then I tried to make a run for it and try to get the fuck out of there. And then next thing you know, she's right on my tail, and the bitch got me. And I was struggling like a bugger, and I thought, I'm buggered. There's no way I'm going to get out of this. All it takes is to put me on a hook, and then I was surprised. I got out.
Woo-hoo!
I managed to... I thought, yes, my second wind! And then, as he was trying to put me on the hook, coincidentally, right by me was my greatest exit. The vault was wide open and ready for me.
The trapdoor, you mean?
Yep, the trapdoor. Or for some reason, I think it's known as the vault for some reason. I guess you hide in a vault from a killer
It's
now.
a trapdoor, I'm pretty sure. I've never heard it called the vault.
Yeah, same. Just
Oh.
trapdoor.
All right. But yeah, I made a run to the trapdoor. I went to jump down it, and then the fucking bitch grabbed me.
Oh.
Just like, no!
No!
But I was few inches away from victory and the only survivor. I was not going to give up. I was going to fight all I want. So I fucking went ballistic with my controller and wiggled out like a bugger. Because there was no fucking way I'm going on a hook today. I'm going to make it out alive this time. And it appears my wiggling was doing a good job because I managed to keep slamming. I kept slamming the spirit into a corner of panels.
It
It
couldn't get-
just
like-
couldn't get out
It's like, fucking
Like,
hold
bang,
still.
bang.
No, no, no.
You were filled with determination.
of it. I am wiggling like a bugger and probably going to break my controller after this. I'm getting the fuck out. And he's doing the foolish thing, which I never expect a pro to do. He's doing a noob thing and trying to swing at me while he's holding me. You can't fucking hit me when you're holding me, you idiot.
He was probably just getting frustrated with you because you'd been eluding him for like half an hour already.
To get on the hook. Fuck you, I'm not getting on the hook.
Get on the hook.
But then he was starting to get ground and starting to get inches and inches closer to the hook. But then
Did you wriggle
it
free?
was very close. At last, I wiggled free. While the bitch was having a headache, I dashed for it and I jumped down the fucking hole to freedom. I made it.
Jumping down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, nice.
In the few times I've played,
Paladin
I've always been lucky with that damn trapdoor. The first time I found it, I don't remember which one of you was the killer, but you gave me a freaking haircut when I went down.
Well, I know
God.
one thing. I got incredibly fucking lucky because I couldn't find that bloody trap hole. But then as it was taking me to a hook, it was just right fucking there. He just went right past it. It's like, is that the trap door? I don't believe it. So either he was cocky and he thought, there's no way he's going to get out of my grip. I got him. Or he didn't even notice it was there.
I'm guessing that one.
But of course, he must have known it was there because he did grab me the first time. But the second time, nuts. Sorry, bitch, but ain't going for a second time.
You really like calling this demon the bitch, don't you? You're like Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
It would be even better if the thing you were fighting was a xenomorph queen or just a xenomorph in general, because Ripley had a tendency to just call them the bitches.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Oh, definitely.
Now
And
I,
was the
now I want to see an aliens enemy added into that,
They probably would if they could afford the rights.
where instead of hooks, you're sticking your victims onto a wall and plastering them with chitin.
Yeah.
Hold them there until an egg can hatch, and then their game over is them getting face hugged.
I mean, the moment that someone said the Predator should be in this, I just thought to myself as well, what about the Xenomorphs? That would be interesting. I'm sure we could fit one Xenomorph in here.
Yep. If they can never
It
get
won't
the rights
hurt.
for it, I would love that. That would be amazing.
Mm.
But yes, that was quite what a story, Mark.
Yep.
Yep.
Best game experience ever.
All right. Now, Soviet has been rather quiet so far. It is time for that to end because he has some stories of a friend of his in the Marines, apparently. So,
Yes, see, my friend Brian, but for the sake of non-confusion, we shall call him Marine. But anyways, he is in the Marine Reserve, and apparently he has a lot of tomfuckery going around in his unit because he comes up with some of the most ridiculous stories that I've ever heard from anyone serving in the military, mainly from training incidences or the war games exercise that he conducted with his unit in Michigan at Lake Erie this year, which is a month-long training exercise where they gather up all the states around Michigan. They gather up their National Guard, their Marine Reserves, and their Air Force Reserves, and they split them up into two groups and say, okay, now we practice war.
okay.
And he had some great stories from that. Day one of war games, his unit, his squad, and the squad of Army got assigned to guard a communications center set up by the Air Force. And this communication center's job is to take coordinates coming in from the radio and send them to the attack pilots in the A-10 Warthog aircrafts for their strafing runs and all of that. And, they're sitting out in this field, and he looks behind him. One of the Air Force guys is messing with the little knobs on his radio, typing a few things on a keyboard. And then he gets a set of coordinates in. He sends it into the nearest Warthog, which is supposed to be performing a strafing run a bit off of an Army patrol that was part of the enemy team to kind of shake them up a bit. But he hears him relay the coordinates, look at his laptop that he had his notes on, and then he just mutters the words, "Uh-oh," under his breath.
Oh, what did he do? What did he do?
And my friend, being the Marine, promptly grabs him by the fucking collar, pulls him up, and says, "What the fuck do you mean, uh-oh? You have one job."
What did you do?
It turns out he had gotten part of the coordinates wrong. So instead of the A-10 Warthogs attacking enemy forces, it instead strafes just off a group of friendly forces in the area. He got reprimanded for that, as anyone should. Day two, they end up, nothing major happens. They end up wiping out a group of Army soldiers because they were training to set up an ambush. Couple of days go by, nothing major happens. Then it comes time for him to do his second job. which the Marines, you have to take on multiple MOS roles.
MOS?
So I don't remember what the acronym is. Basically, your MOS is the role you do. Like blanks, for instance, it revolves around intelligence, relaying information. His main role, he has two roles. He is, for when he's on infantry patrols, he is his squad's grenadier, meaning he carries the grenade launcher on his carbine and all the 40 millimeter grenades that go with it. His second role is mortar. He works on mortar crew when he's not doing the grenadier job. So, you know, they had these mortar positions set up. They were firing the 60 millimeter mortars, and it comes, you know, his crew's time to do the training, where they basically just take the mortars and they have this giant 17-acre field out in the middle of Michigan because it's government-owned land, and they just fire them out there willy-nilly to practice, you know, getting the coordinates for the arc right and getting the time between mortar shots right. Well, it turns out his crew, instead of being given the high explosive mortar shells that they were supposed to, were given incendiary shells.
Uh-oh.
So they fire the first few their first few shells out, and then one of the sergeants pointed out that the field was on fire.
Oh god.
And it started spreading.
Oh god.
And eventually it went from going where the target range was, and the fire looped around and was now behind the mortar crews where the ammunition stockpile was.
Oh god!
Luckily, the boxes that it was before they started putting it out were empty boxes that were going to be sent back to get refilled. And the live ammunition was about 100 yards away from that.
Oh my god.
So, good job, Marine Corps. You have the big thunks on point. You know, they completed their mortar training. They ended up burning down about 17 acres of government land in the middle of Michigan. That's going to be fun to explain to the people who do budget.
Oh, bloody hell.
I can imagine it now. The person who handles the budget for Michigan. Yes, I see here that we have to replace 17 acres worth of land. Do you mind explaining to me what happened? Some Marine Corps colonel. Well, you see, what happened was, due to a communication error, we accidentally used incendiary mortar shells instead of high explosive. Oops.
So what you're saying to me is you were shooting your own land?
Well, it's land that the government use it for the purposes of war games or any other training exercise. So it's not like it's, you know, some farmer who lent them the land and then is now regretting it because it's burned to ash.
That would have been even funnier and more tragic.
Yeah, but the government stopped doing that, and they just started buying the land outright after that.
What, you mean they did it before?
Yes.
My list just keeps growing.
Before, the land had to be lent. Sometime after the 50s, they just started buying the land to do it, so that they wouldn't have to worry about legal costs.
God.
But, you know, first week of War Games wraps up. Week 2, the first couple of days go by just fine. Nothing major happens. Then on day 5 of the second week, his unit, his entire company ends up going out a big patrol mission, and so he's, you know, he's in the front of the convoy with the lieutenant, a couple of sergeants, and a couple of other people from his unit, and they're, you know, walking alongside. They're walking alongside an ATV. They have to pause for a second because the ATV, the LAV that they had to get resent out to a different mission. because apparently a group of army needed support and they didn't have any armor available other than the LAV they had with them. So they lost their armor cover. And then, the lieutenant's on his radio. He's communicating with someone from the HQ. And all of a sudden, everything's fine. And then my friend looks over and he sees this lieutenant's face. And, he hears a little snippet from the radio. Something about, danger close, 200 meters. And then he sees his lieutenant turn around to the company and shout, "Everyone hit the fucking deck!"
The best of the best, everyone.
And, so everyone drops to the fucking ground. And then mortars start hitting about 200 meters away from them.
Oh.
I don't know what military jargon is. Danger close is an artillery mission that happens within 600 meters of your position. 600 meters is quite a bit away from you. You have low risk of getting hit with shrapnel, but you'll still feel the effects of the shockwave. 200 meters is right on top of your fucking head.
A meter is about the same as a yard, isn't it? Roughly equivalent.
Yeah, about, but here's the thing. When it comes to artillery, you have a lot of things to worry about.
Yeah, I know.
The closer you get.
Yeah, I know. I was just doing that from my own frame of reference in my head. Sorry, continue.
Right, but, 200 meters is, it's still considered danger close, but you're practically having on you. And so the entire barrage happened. And, everyone's panicking because the ground is shaking, grass and dirt is being flung everywhere, and you're trying to hope to God you don't get hit by shrapnel. And then it stops. Everyone, looks up, checks to make sure they're not dead. And then the lieutenant, picks up his radio and asks what the fuck just happened. And a army captain came on the line and explained that, it was the National Guard's turn to do the mortar training. And 3 of the crews got their coordinates off by a lot. So instead of, shelling the designated area, they ended up almost shelling a group of Marines with live mortar shells.
That would have been horrible.
That would have been a court-martial.
That would have been more than a court-martial. That would have been probably a deranking, dishonorable discharge, and then firing squad for not for the crews, but whoever did the coordinates, which most likely would have been one of the communication people that, I don't know, they had a lot of throughout this entire event.
Jesus, sounds like.
But, because he stood up, he felt calm, but he had a lot of adrenaline rushing through his veins. And it was like he was calm, but he wanted to fight something.
So it's like Ryan Stiles on Who's Line. You guys want to fight?
Yeah, but, it carries on. War Games carries on. He said after, the mortar incident, they didn't have all that much happen. And so, it's like week 4, day 6, they've just completed a convoy transporting ammo from one of the ammo dumps to the base they were at. And so the company commander decided that he wanted to reward my friend's unit because they actually performed really well. They went through the majority of the War Games exercise with little to no major incidents other than the field burning down, but that was out of their control because someone in supplies fucked up a requisition. They accidentally put incendiary shells instead of high explosives. That was out of their control. They couldn't know that. But so, he just to pay them back by taking everyone out to lunch. And so they had a choice. It was either pizza or sandwiches. The majority chose sandwiches, so there was a con that left the base, and it pulled up to, this small Michigan town's subway. And all the staff of this subway and the side, all they see is this giant group of Marines stepping out of Humvees and transport trucks in full combat gear, proceeding to take off the combat gear and walk into the store.
Okay, then.
And it's, Marines who haven't showered, are covered in mud and dirt and all this other stuff, and they look like they've come back from a war zone, but it's in the middle of Michigan. And it just describes, this poor teenage girl who was working there that weekend.
Oh.
And she's just frozen in fear. And the manager, came up because he didn't hear her saying anything, but he kept hearing the bell of the door opening. He's like, hey, what's going on? As his voice slowly tapers off, as he turns to see the group of about 50 Marines in his store. And he's just like, okay, so you're gonna take their order and we're gonna get this over with as soon as possible.
If I were the lady, my first question would have been, am I being invaded right now?
Is this Red Dawn?
Are you invading my store?
That was the entirety of his war games exercise experience. There are a few more that he's told us that I've found quite hilarious. One was they were doing their martial arts training, and the commander in charge of the training decided the appropriate way to do this training was to take all of the base's martial arts instructors, give them ghillie suits, throw them out in the middle of the woods with plastic training knives, and then give all the Marines their full combat kit, a training rifle, and a training knife, load them up into a Chinook helicopter, and drop them in the middle of the woods and tell them, all right, you've got exactly 90 minutes to get from here to the extraction point, which is this, blue spray paint circle in the middle of a field. That's about 4 miles that way. And your instructors are somewhere within the environment, and they're going to try and stop. If you so much as get tapped by their training knife in the chest or neck area, you are out, and you have to do the exercise again.
Oh.
My friend took this as, okay, I'm going to just run for 4 miles straight, and I'm not going to stop until I get to the blue circle. And that's exactly what he did. In fact, several of the training instructors tried to stop them. In fact, one of them dropped from a tree branch in front of him, and he just kicked him in the groin. And
Nope.
It's just like nothing personnel. Nope, you're not getting me today, drill sergeant. Keeps running.
I've got a date with destiny, and my destiny is a big blue spray painted circle in the middle of a field.
And then a subway.
And then a subway.
No. This story took place like about
I know.
3 or 4 months before. But anyways,
that
he
great.
keeps running.
That is brilliant.
He keeps running, and he finally makes it to the field. And, he's just he's like 10 or 15 feet away from the circle. So he, walks up to the circle, and he starts throwing off his combat gear. He throws his helmet to the ground, unstraps his backpack.
Unwise,
but here's the thing. He just ran 4 straight miles with about 200 pounds of random bullshit on his back. So he's getting it off. And then when he throws down his flak jacket, he notices through, his peripheral vision that there was a bush next to the circle. And, he's like, you know what? It's bush. I'm being paranoid.
It's
I think
never
so.
just a bush. It is never just a bush.
So, he unhooks the thing for his utility belt, and then the bush stands up, turns around, and pulls out 2 training. And, he looks at it, and he's like, Instructor Zapdos, is that you? Damn right, Sipe. Are we really gonna do this? You goddamn right, Lance Corporal. Get your knife. And so
they're going for a knife fight.
So
At the end of a Die Hard film. Good God.
the bush charges him with 2 knives. He grabs his knife, fucking braces him with his shoulder, pushes him back and swings. He misses, and then the instructor fucking charged him and grabbed him by the chest, fucking carried him for about 5 feet and threw him on the ground, and was about to go in for a final jab, but then he just hears a scream off to his left, and one of his buddies ran up and drop kicked the instructor out of nowhere. Just drop kicked him out of the way.
Boom! Not touching my friend, you son of a bitch!
Surprise!
Oh,
This is literally the end of a Die Hard film, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, that is Marine Corps life. Marine Corps is just Die Hard, but in real life.
And occasionally having botched operations is like someone put Ben in charge of their army.
Yeah. you think my Marine,
Never
fuck
said a
up.
bush
I never
to a
want
man.
to. I never want to see Ben anywhere near a military operation.
Oh, none of us
Ever.
do. None of us do.
But yeah,
Well,
no.
he's the target.
Instead of danger close, it'd be danger closer.
Uh,
I mean,
it would be you better kiss your ass goodbye at that point.
Prepare your anus, a bomb's going up it.
Yeah.
Prepare your
but,
anus, Ben's a coming.
anyways,
Everything's gonna die.
he and his buddy, they had successfully completed the exercise, and they sat around for about 30 minutes. The rest of the group that didn't fail the exercise shows up, and him and 2 other buddies, he put his combat gear back on, and they're walking up to the road to wait for a Humvee to come pick them up and take them back to base. And this poor lady, she was just walking her dog and jogging along the road, minding her own business. And then 3 Marines in combat gear just casually walk out of the forest next to the road. And, he looks. My friend turns, sees her. She sees them, turns around, and walks the other direction. Just,
Nope.
fuck this shit. I'm out.
So, did many of the Marines get nabbed in the forest?
Hold on. Yeah. From what he told me, 4 or 5 people actually failed the exercise out of a group of about 30. So, yeah, I'd say it was successful.
Nice. Well,
nice.
But
And it's not every day you get to drop kick your drill sergeant or kick another one in the nuts. You know?
oh,
yeah, that
No.
Get out
that
the
was
way.
there is one more that was brief that he got told by someone else in his unit when he was back in basic.
I
He
will
was,
point out we have a minute left.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll only take a minute, but basically, when he was in basic, their first drill instructor had to get replaced because he had a mental breakdown midway through training. And the night my friend was on firewall, he didn't get to see it, but the guy went insane in the barracks because he was piss drunk, and he fucking walked in the barracks, flipped on the lights, yelled for everyone to stand at attention and get out of their bunks. Everyone in the barracks did. And then he grabbed a baseball bat and a frozen potato from the mess kitchen. And, he threw the potato in the air and batted it through a window, shattering it, pointed to one of the Marines and shouted, "You're a faggot," and then ran back into his office and slammed the door. I'd like to also point out that during this entire time, he was half naked. From the waist down.
And on that sobering punchline, it is time for us.
The U.S. Armed Forces.
Yep. So, on that note, it is time for us to end. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode of Jibber Jabber. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, people. And as always, keep listening. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We're all insane.